So my lab actually from the start has always been focusing on doing research that have a potential for commercialization. So from the idea inception, we have been working closely, brainstorming with clinicians, and we develop new medical technologies for chronic disease and management like diabetes and inflammatory diseases. So most of the time when I bring in the student, they are often of the type who are willing to take risks and not afraid of failure. And are interested in impactful research. So naturally, the project we have will result in intellectual property, we have a few patents pending technology. And then from there, if you are interested in having impact, you would naturally be inclined towards commercializing the technology. And with the support from the NTU ecosystem, we have started on some of this effort that I can share a bit later. Yeah. I guess it started with my own graduate training. So I used to get my PhD training from Professor Robert Langer's lab in MIT, and it's an environment where a lot of the ideas are translated into either being licensed or in a startup company. And so I have always had this interest in me, for decades. And I also want to infuse the same sort of interest in my student. And so if you are interested in clinical impact, then this is like how the journey begins, and it's continued this way. Yeah. Yeah, frankly speaking, to have innovation and go on the route of entrepreneurship, most of us are actually quite fearless. So when you ask about fear, I don't really have an immediate idea about what is the thing that we fear the most, because we know there are risks, but we always take calculated and calculated, calibrated risk. And I guess maybe the fear would be, as a professor, in addition to being an entrepreneur, I care a lot about my students and their well-being and also their success. So I want to make sure that in taking risks, my students are also being properly trained and well taken care of, and develop their academic research as robustly and strongly as having a exposure to entrepreneurship. So this balance of taking the risk, how to take the risk, while also making sure that your students are being properly taken care of and have certain academic success to accomplish their academic goal is I would say a challenge, but I don't think that's a fear. Yeah. So in my lab, we have a good balance mix between postdoc and grad student. And so before I admitted them into the lab, I typically also look for this trait of being interested and open to entrepreneurship and innovation. So when they come into the lab, many already have this sort of interest. And but not all of them, right? So if some of them, if they are interested, I would give them a fraction of time. So I would encourage them to join entrepreneurship training workshop, to go to events where they have a chance to listen to speakers who are maybe former NTU alumni who have founded their own companies, so they can be inspired. And they also, if they develop a technology in the lab that has commercialization potential, I would encourage them to join the boot camp. A lot of my lab members went through the Lean Launchpad program. And then if they do well, they could also be free to join pitching competition, So, but of course the priority still is on their research because they are mainly still PhD and postdoc. But a little bit of the flexibility for them to explore this interest actually would enhance their motivation and interest and help them to design the research projects that is more relevant for commercialization. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a skill set, but I think to be an innovator, we need to have, even myself and my students, we all have to have an open mindset rather than a skill set. Because as a technical, researcher and innovator, we are typically trained and we are strong in one area of our expertise. But a lot of time we might not know or be aware of other challenges, say like business, regulatory, and so having an open mindset is the very critical component of getting yourself prepared to embark on an entrepreneurship path, because you will be able to learn or be humble and be willing to listen to other stakeholders in the ecosystem who might have like business expertise, manufacturing expertise, and those are not necessarily the skill set that we are trained with, in an academic setting. Yeah. I think that so far we have really a lot of good support, especially in the recent years. So I hope that continue to be supported. And then in addition, if I may have a suggestion, I would hope to maybe if we can have more opportunities for the students who are like technical background to mix with the students who come from more business or medical background. And I think for us right now, we do this in a very spontaneous way. We have a technology, we try to write email and reach out to Nanyang Business School student, or try to get medical student. But we don't really have an official platform. So if I was just thinking if there is some mechanism or some event series or platform to bring together the student and the scientists of a different background together with the business and the medical practitioner to form a team, and sometimes this kind of interaction could allow the idea to just be groom and grow, So yeah, I wish to see, hopefully to see more of that in the future. Yeah. So I myself is still also a kind of a growing and learning innovator. So I do not have a lot of what to do and what not to do, but I guess I want to share what has worked so far for me that allowed me to learn a lot is this having an open mind while being very humble to learn, and I think that is like the most important thing that we kind of have as an academic who want to innovate. So absorb new mindset, and at the same time can manage our time efficiently and do our academic work well while designating some fraction of time to learn from other stakeholders in the ecosystem. And so this open mind, I think, is the most important.